All right, let's review place value. So this is your place value chart. Here's your decimal. So imagine here, this is the division between whole numbers and parts of a whole, or your decimals. You have ones, tens, hundreds, and thousands for your whole numbers, and then this would be tenths, hundreds, and thousands. If it ends in that THS, it's a decimal. So if you think about creating decimals on your grid, one whole would be one whole big square. A tenth would be a bar, it'd be 1/10 of that if I split it into tenths. A hundredth would be one tiny square, so there would be 100 of these in one whole, and there would be 10 of them in a tenth. And then a thousandth would be if I took this hundredth and split it into 10 pieces, a tiny little thousandth. There would be 1,000 of them that equaled one whole. So which number is 1/10 less than 123 and 891 thousandths? So first of all, figure out which digit is in the tenths place. That would be your 8. What is 1/10 less than that digit? Well, 1/10 less than 8 would be 7. So let's find one that has a 7 in the tenths place. And that would be this one here. So I have 123 and 791 thousandths. There's your answer. So how is the expression below written in standard form? Standard form, we would write it as numbers. So 3 times 100 is 300, plus 8 times 10 is 80, plus 2 times 1 is 2, 5 times 1/10 would be 0 and 5/10, and then 5 times 100th would be 0 and, 4 times 100th would be 0 and 400. So let's now write that in standard form. I have 382 and 54 hundredths. What's another way to write that number in word form? Well, always find your decimal, and then, like, that's the divide there. You're going to start with the whole number. So I'm just going to say that number. That number is 62. When I see my decimal, I'm going to put and then say the number after the decimal. That's 92. And then which place is the last digit in? That's 3 places after the decimal. That's going to be the thousandths place. Don't forget the THS at the end. So that's 62 and 92 thousandths. What amount of the grid below is shaded? So we have 1 2/10. So I have 0 wholes and 2/10, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hundredths. So that's 0 and 25 hundredths of the grid is shaded. What is the total value of the shaded areas of the large squares? Okay, well, the first grid is showing 0 wholes and 1, 2, 3, 4 full tenths. So that's 4 full tenths here. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 hundredths. So that would be 44 hundredths, because there would be 10 hundredths in each one of these. So there would be 40 here and then 4 more. So 0 and 44 hundredths. And then here I have 0 wholes. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tenths, 9 full tenths. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hundredths. So 0 and 97 hundredths. To find the total value, I would add them by stacking or lining up my decimal. So that's 13, 14, carry your 1, and bring your decimal down. So 1 and 43 hundredths total shaded on both grids. Great job for your place value review.